Okay then, Helldivers, we are back and we have got loads to go over today as we are powering through the major order, although are still trailing behind quite greatly. This is probably down to the basis of the low levels of player base, but we're going to take a look at everything with regards to that one in just a moment. We've also got a new position being filled inside of Arrowhead game development, which is absolutely huge because this one's revolved around game design. You guys are still finding things inside of the game a year later and some questions that are unanswered happening inside of the Reddit. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, Gamersubs, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers with the most effective and healthy energy drink choice compared to those tinned alternatives that we're all used to. It's completely keto friendly, zero sugar and less than 1 calorie. Using code CloudPlays at checkout will get you a cheeky discount. And today we had the launch of the new line, so you definitely want to check that one out. Links in the description. And we continue to give away super credits to support the studio and support you. So if you want to get involved with that, it is very, very simple. Put in a bug emoji into the comment section, any bug you wish, I'm not picky, and it will enter you into the giveaway of the top bundle of super credits. We'll announce it in the next video. With that being said, now before we get into the game itself and let you guys know the news, Arrowhead have actually challenged the propaganda commanders with a very cool 7 days of helldiving. The first challenge was to run a mission on max difficulty with no primary weapon and random stratagem loadouts. We posted that video up late last night, which was out of our normal schedule updates, so make sure you go and give that a check out. Let's dive into the game and see what it is that's happening right now. So starting off on the Galactic War table, we can see a few things. We have got to defend against 9 attacks from the Terminids, and we have managed to secure 2. We have got quite a lot of planets all being attacked at the same time, although there is actually a decent order that we can genuinely take this in. As of right now, we are all on Secundus. This planet right here is a pretty renowned one, and it's got the DSS on it, meaning that the mechs will come into play quite nicely. And you've also got the defense campaign running on side of there as well as holding a factory hub that we definitely need to keep hold of. So we're going to be capturing that one in about the next hour, or at least at the point of recording. So this one should be done and dusted. But what planet should we go for next? This planet right here holds quite a high decay rate, so we do not want to go for Akmar. The one planet that we do want to go for isn't even in a defense. We've only got 6 hours remaining on Ball Rock, and realistically, with about 40 to 50 minutes being completed for the other planet, will leave us 5 hours. Esgear right now has a 1.5 average enemy resistance, and this is probably going to be the biggest one that we can take out to Gambit, this planet right here, which is Ball Rock. Now, we don't have a lot of time, so it's not likely we will actually secure it, but I think what it does do is it closes off 2 planets in one nutshell, so it's probably not the worst idea, or at least in my head. If I'm wrong, and I normally am, do let me know via the comment section below, but the Predator Strainer are still over there and you guys can enjoy it. It's just going to be one of those movements that after we've managed to secure this defense campaign, we may well be able to claw a second. Unfortunately though, the issue that we're having at hand at the moment is that the player base is low, so 23,000 total Helldivers right now is a little bit of a low level, and fingers crossed we manage to get some movements inside of that soon. Meridia Black Hole is, well, still not really moving, so it seems like Niblaria 1 is going to be safe for probably the next month at least, and everything else is pretty damn quiet. Your personal order is to kill 15 enemies using the spear, and that's pretty much about everything that's relatively interesting inside of the game. So yeah, go ahead and start attacking those bloody Terminids, Helldivers. In other news, yes, we have got a very low player base right now. We're in that dip point of the game, and especially with the Baskinator confirming that the likelihood is we're not going to be receiving an update for maybe 2 weeks. This could only really get worse. Players on right now, just on Steam alone, are around 18,000, and we have seen that in-game itself there's around 23,000 Helldivers, meaning that we're back in that position where there's not many of you. So I really do support all of you guys, and thank all of you guys that are supporting the channel and watching the daily uploads. I'm fully aware that this game is in a bit of a cautious space right now, but it seems that they are making some moves to go forward. Now, how do we know this? Well, there has been job updates going up on the Arrowhead Game Studios website, of which we've had a new one for Senior Release Manager. They obviously are expanding expanding that, which is always good news. And with them expanding the release management system, it means that they are obviously expanding in the amount of content they're going to be releasing. How that seems to be the case, we have no idea. It's going to be an interesting one to say the least, but it's nice that our boy Max over at Arrowhead, the guy that presses the button, will have some more like-minded people around him. Yes, Max, if you're watching this, we appreciate you greatly. But a main role that has been taken is the senior game designer. Now, this was actually posted up, and apparently it may no longer be available. That's because it's not. 9 days ago, this one right here is for the senior game designer, and what it is that they're going to do is scripting and implementing things in the game engine, translating game direction to game design, building and drive development of new exciting features, work closely and coordinate with other disciplines. They've got prototypes and implementations, driving conceptual problem solving, active and driving participation, and being a part of the handling design. So what this essentially means is that they're obviously starting to work on bigger features that are due to come in the near distant future. Now, as to whether that's the near future or the distant future, I have absolutely zero idea at all. But it's nice to know that they are expanding, even if it is very little by little. Some of those job roles have been up there for, well, quite some time. It's kind of one of those where it's a little bit difficult to actually judge, but fingers crossed we may actually have Arrowhead expanding the company, meaning that we should have some more stuff coming very soon. When we take a look at what's going on with the board game, though, I'm not going to bore you with all of the updates on it, but they are updating things every single day. So if you guys want to go in and take a look, you can do. The links down in the description, but they have got some really cool stuff on there, and they're updating things with the automaton expansion deep dives, factory striders. We've also got emote cards and new figures, and there's loads of stuff in there. So make sure you go and give it a check out, and if you haven't already got it, you need to get hold of it now. We don't have very long left on this project purchase, and trust me, you're going to want to get your hands on this one. And moving forward, the Reddit has got some interesting features in it, as some people are still realizing and finally seeing some new things inside of the game, or at least they think it's new. It's definitely not new. It's been there for God knows how long. But irrelevant. This one right here states, I was 147 levels old when I realized that the fourth icon on the mission stratagems indicates that there's a CF artillery on the map. Now, yes, that is obviously the case, and a lot of people were kind of a little bit concerned because they thought that that was an orbital precision strike, and were a little bit peed off that when they got in there, they didn't actually have it. It's kind of hilarious to see, but yeah, make sure you pay attention to those markers, because sometimes it does tell you things that you may not see on the map before diving in. That's all I'm going to say on that one. It's pretty funny, but yeah, nearly 4,000 of you guys upvoted that and had no idea what the hell was going on. Another one right here received nearly 8,000 upvotes, and this one was quite an interesting one, and one that I actually kind of want the answer to. If we're going to be taking a game down the quote-unquote realism route, then this answer needs to come. It states right here, how do Helldiver bones not instantly shatter like glass when they make planetfall? It says right here, dropping from orbit in a standing position somehow doesn't get ankles obliterated to dust. And yet, if I fall off of a rock, I will roll down and stay down for around 3 seconds, and probably end up with a leg injury. It makes absolutely no sense to me at all, but it's a question that I've got towards Arrowhead. And finally, we have this piece right here. Now, this is a Warbond idea that somebody has posted up that I really like the idea of, and it's mainly down to 2 single items. This is the Desert Democrats. Now, there is a bit of a description to it, but as you can see on screen, there are a couple of pieces of armor which look really cool, with the helmets actually being masked up and wrapped around, and looking for that like desert-esque style. But we also have the traditional Sector 5 saber. Now, the saber looks absolutely incredible. I personally would love to utilize this. It even has the little yellow hue running down the blade, so it's definitely something that you guys could see yourself using. But naturally, my heart is revolving around one aspect, the dirt bike. Now, the icon for this definitely makes it look like a quad bike, and yes, that's a bike with 4 wheels for those of you wondering, and that is definitely not the same thing, but a dirt bike indeed I do want. For me, this one would be quite cool, and I think it's something that we could genuinely utilize inside of the game. We should be due a new Warbond over the next few weeks, and fingers crossed we receive something pretty damn cool. I think it's definitely something we need to look into. And we are going into leak territory. For those of you guys who don't want to know about this, it's the time of the video where you should leave, but nonetheless, we're going to dive on into it. Thanks again for watching. Let's see what it is that Iron Sights has for us today. So this one right here is the E710 Rich Terminid Strain. It states right here that this is a planet effect that will will probably be used in a major order. Things like this tend to change a bit over time, so we'll see what happens to it in the future. Now, I have applied it to Clendarth as a test. This planet is not native as it appears on. So obviously he's put it on Clendarth, but it doesn't appear on that actual planet. But we do have E710 rich strain. Now that is likely to be in the center of the gloom. I think that we can kind of all figure that one out as we manage to make our way into the outer skirts of the gloom. They had a lot more E710. Now this is specifically rich strains for the E710 loads, and they have a lot more than other specimens. So I'm kind of intrigued to know what they are, because that essentially means that we've got new strains of Terminids still yet to come after we've received the Predator strain, and we've also received the Gloom variant strain. Overall, a very interesting feature and something that could be pretty damn huge for the game, something that is definitely warranted. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that one and how it is that you think that one could actually play out. Give me your ideas. Tinfoil hats on, Helldivers. It's important. Now, taking a look at your top comments, though, we have got a lot to go over. In the last video, we managed to talk about some things with regards to the next patch update and the fact that it may not be coming for a couple of weeks. This first person right here states, no, we aren't going to be seeing an update next week. They are finally doing what every game dev should do from the start, which is to test the updates and make sure everything is going to be working before they push it out. Hooray. Now, as much as this is a positive, that's not actually what it is that's going to be happening. I'm not actually sure exactly what it is that they're waiting on, but they have got a lot of things in the works. Yes, they are making sure they refine it a little bit more, but they have extended holidays. Therefore, that's the reason why we're having the delayed update, because they've got the Easter holiday coming up this weekend for a long weekend running through, which means that nobody's going to be in the office the day before. So I think that this is a bit of a misconceded one and a bit of a skewed one. So that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that it's very much the reason as to why, the fact that they're overly testing it. I think that they're probably testing it the same amount that they would normally, but that's just my partake. That's not fact. This next one right here states, know what they should fix, that glitch where you get stuck under a corpse after dropping. Make it so Hellpods destroy any corpse they land on. No more being trapped under Bile Titans and Factory Striders. Now, yes, I think like we've all been suffered from that one, and it's something that hopefully they do manage to rectify and fix at some stage or another. But yeah, that one's a really buggy one. Really buggy one. Mind the pun. And this final one right here states, wow, I cannot wait to endure the next 3 to 4 weeks waiting for a patch that should have never been needed in the first place. That will probably not have any new content. God damn it. Now, yeah, I think a lot of people at the moment are in that frame of mind where they think that this next patch update is going to just be the patch. I'm really hoping that it's wrong, and I'm really hoping that they're not just going to be focusing on patching stuff and fixing stuff, and that they actually have something new to the table coming into the midst with the next patch update. We are due the big update to come, which is pretty much something that we receive a few times a year. We should be receiving that early May, so fingers crossed the time periods genuinely do time up based on the fact that we're not receiving an update next week. So fingers crossed we should see something come into the midst at some stage or another. Unfortunately, though, that's all we got time for today. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Appreciate your faces, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.